Well, we're getting to that time of year that we're starting to watch Christmas movies, and I rewatched Home Alone, which is, of course, a Christmas classic that still hits harder than a paint can to the face. And I think this movie is really awesome. I would rate it an 8 out of 10, maybe even a 9 on a good day. But for me, anything above an 8 is perfectly fine. Whether you think it's an 8 or a 9 or a 10, I can live with all of those scores as long as it isn't less than an 8. And in Home Alone, we follow Kevin McAllister, an 8-year-old whose giant extended family rushes out the door for a Christmas trip to France. And by accident, they leave him behind. And at first, Kevin's newfound freedom is what we all want, when we were young. It's pure childhood wish fulfillment. We have the junk food, late night movies, no supervision whatsoever. But things turn real fast when two burglars, Harry and Marv, decide the McAllister house is the perfect target to rob. And with no adults to rely on, Kevin booby traps the whole place and he basically wages war on the Wet Bandits, which is what Harry and Marv call themselves. And what we get is one of the most iconic sequences in a holiday film ever. I mean, this movie, the setup and the way the movie is done, it's really simple. It's absurd. It's wild. It's brilliant, really. And I think an 8 or a 9 out of 10 would be a really good score for this movie. And why does this movie work so well? Well, there are a lot of things to like and love about this movie. First, of course, we have Macaulay Culkin, who has a legendary performance. I mean, let's be real. He makes this movie. He's funny, he's expressive, he's also a little bit vulnerable, and I think he's totally believable as a kid. He thinks he's a grown up 1 minute and the next he's crying for his mom. He really is believable. And he carries the entire movie on his small shoulders. And somehow, for some reason, he never becomes annoying. And that is what I really enjoy about this movie. I mean, he is basically a badass. He's a pain in the ass for the robbers, of course. But for the viewer, for me, you know, with these child actors, often they are really annoying. But, Kevin in this movie, he is none of that. He is actually really likable. So props to Macaulay Culkin for this performance. Absolutely. And then let's not forget about Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. I mean, we have a Christmas movie, a legendary holiday movie with Joe Pesci. Who would have thought that a holiday Christmas movie with Joe Pesci would be one of the best Christmas movies ever? And they are perfect as an incompetent team up called the Wet Bandits. I mean, the slapstick timing, it is really off the charts. It's really well done. The traps work really well. They perform really well. I mean, we get Harry's head that is getting torched, Marv screaming at a tarantula. We have an iron to the face. We have paint cans to the face. I mean, you name it, it's all there. It's basically Looney Tunes brought to life. It's painful for sure, but it's also hilarious still to this day. The movie is hilarious. I mean, Daniel Stern as Marv. I think his facial expressions, the way he screams, the look on his face. I mean, it's hilarious. And then the cursing that Joe Pesci does, it works. It's really really funny, and I don't think it will ever not be funny. And of course, this is a Christmas movie, and I think this is actually a Christmas movie. Every shot feels like Christmas. It feels like it is Christmas vacation, and you can relate. When you were a kid, or if you are a kid, you can relate to the whole surroundings of it. We have the warm lights, We have the cozy interiors, we have snow-covered suburbs, we have Christmas trees, we have it all. And then we have this amazing score, the song Somewhere in My Memory. And I absolutely love that. And that's not the only song that I really like. I think I think it's the soundtrack, or maybe it's part of the score. It's the Carol of the Bells. It just works so well in this movie. It's really well done. And also the thing that I really like about the setup in this movie is that, when the parents forget Kevin, the way they set it up is by having one of the family members, I think it's his niece or something, count everybody that is going on vacation. And of course, it's the neighbor who, for some reason, gets in the mix, and he gets counted as Kevin. And that setup is actually really believable, which is something that I like. I mean, sure, it's a little bit wild, yes, but it's also believable. You can say, yeah, I can see why they forgot Kevin, sure. And the storytelling, it's really heartfelt. There is real emotion under all this chaos. I mean, Kevin is learning about independence. He's learning how to turn his fear into courage. His mom doing anything she can to get back home. And then we have the quiet, powerful scenes with Old Man Marley. The movie earns every emotional beat, especially the final church moment. It works really well. And also the ending of the movie, the emotional pull, the heartfelt storytelling that is going on there, it is really well deserved. It is really earned. You feel it, and it doesn't feel cheap at all. It really works. And that's what I like about this movie as well. Kevin actually has a really good, what should I call it, redemption arc, basically. He has a really good arc. And I think his mom has somewhat of a good arc. And even his family members, some of them who are really, a little bit of assholes, have somewhat of a small redemption arc to them as well. So that really works very good. And then we have, of course, one of the iconic scenes that still is awesome, which is the fake gangster movie. I actually thought it was a real movie when I saw Home Alone, but apparently it is a fake gangster movie that they're using, where they have the line "Keep the change, you filthy animal." It's really awesome, of course. One of the best scenes in a movie. And then, of course, we have Kevin doing the grocery shopping, the whole montage. It all works really, really well, and that definitely says something. Now, this movie isn't perfect. The thing that I didn't really enjoy, well, maybe not enjoy is a little bit of a stretch, but the thing that slows the movie down quite a bit, and especially when I was younger, I couldn't really relate and I didn't really enjoy it. Now, as I'm older, I enjoy it more, but still, I feel that it slows the movie down a little bit. Maybe that's good, maybe it isn't so good, but it is the subplot with Old Man Marley, the neighbor. And sure, as an adult, you can understand it more, you can relate a little bit, but those scenes still feel a little bit like waiting for the next joke, waiting for the next booby trap to go off. But the emotional payoff is really great. I would even say it's exceptionally great. But the subplot makes for the pacing to dip just a little bit, just enough to notice, and that is something that I still struggle with when I watch this movie. It is a little bit boring, I would say, but the payoff is great. But that for me is probably a little bit of nitpicking and maybe the only thing that I, let's say, didn't really enjoy too much. And then we have some of the family members. I think the family members are good in terms of characters, but I have to say they are somewhat cartoonishly cruel towards Kevin. We have Buzz, we have Uncle Frank, some random cousins. They do feel and do seem like they are just one-dimensional jerks, really. That's what it is. I mean, sure, it's funny and it is extremely exaggerated in any way possible, but it feels a little bit out of place, a little bit too cartoonish for me. But yeah, overall, Home Alone, I'm gonna give it an 8, borderline 9, so maybe like an 8 out of 8.5. Home Alone is one of those rare movies that is absolutely hilarious. It's heartfelt, it's chaotic, it's iconic, and I think this is a movie that you should watch every Christmas season. It's basically Christmas movie culture, and it's also the movie that launched Macaulay Culkin into stardom. And Home Alone, it's one of the best slapstick sequences ever filmed. And despite some of the over-the-top logic and some of the exaggerated characters, this movie, it is a warm movie. It is a family movie. It does feel magical, and it has an endless array of quotes. So for me, it's a film that everyone should watch at least once. I would even say at least once a year. And I think that most of us, if you're listening, I think most of us have seen it at least a dozen times, if not more. So yeah, awesome movie. I think it's a great movie. It's a must watch, especially during the Christmas season. And yeah, that's just my take on the movie. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.